Hello and welcome to my channel where we bring you the latest innovations from all around the world, across all industries. Please subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss when we upload a new video. July 8, 2011, NASA's Space Shuttle Atlantis launched on the final space mission after 31 years as the centerpiece of America's human spaceflight endeavors. After Atlantis landed after a successful mission to space, that brought the final curtain on America's space missions as we knew it. Closing down a history of not just amazing achievements but also of tragedy, from the historic moon landing to the tragic loss of many crew members in 3 major tragedies. Many wondered if NASA and indeed the USA would ever get back to the glory days of the past. In the intervening years, NASA bought seats for its astronauts, at a cost of tens of millions of dollars per flight, on the Russian Soyuz. Fast forward today and a new chapter in American space exploration has been born with the successful ever-commercial launch of 2 astronauts aboard SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule. Americans Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken's launch represents a return for NASA to what they do best. Powered by SpaceX's impressive Falcon 9 rocket, the crew headed for the space station. We're starting a new era in space. It's an era when space is going to be available to more people than ever before, explained NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine. The Crew Dragon and its rocket are both American-made and launched from Florida. With that successful launch, NASA is back. Now, let's take a closer look at this mission, how it came about and what it means for NASA's future space program. This launch, known as Demo 2, is part of NASA's Commercial Crew Program. NASA's Commercial Crew Program has worked with several American aerospace industry companies to facilitate the development of U.S. human spaceflight systems since 2010. The goal is to have safe, reliable and cost-effective access to and from the International Space Station and foster commercial access to other potential low Earth orbit destinations. NASA selected Boeing and SpaceX in September 2014 to transport crew to the International Space Station from the United States. These integrated spacecraft, rockets and associated systems will carry up to 4 astronauts on NASA missions, maintaining a space station crew of 7 to maximize time dedicated to scientific research on the orbiting laboratory. Demo 2 is the final major step required by SpaceX's astronaut carrier, the Crew Dragon, to get certified by NASA's Commercial Crew Program for more long-term manned missions to space. This mission will serve as an end-to-end flight test to validate the SpaceX Crew Transportation System, from launch to docking to splashdown. It is the final flight test for the system to be certified for regular, crew flights to the station as part of NASA's Commercial Crew Program. The SpaceX Demo 1 mission in March 2019 was the spacecraft's first flight test. During that uncrewed mission, the fully autonomous Crew Dragon launched aboard a Falcon 9 rocket, rendezvoused and docked with the orbiting laboratory, undocked several days later and returned to Earth with a splashdown in the Atlantic Ocean off the Florida coast. The Demo 2 mission is expected to last anything between 1 and 4 months. But NASA said the duration of this mission would be determined by when the next commercial crew will be able to travel to the space station. The spacecraft will be capable of staying in orbit for at least 210 days. SpaceX will be allowed to go ahead with more manned missions to the space stations as part of the $2.6 billion contract with NASA. Boeing also has a similar deal with the space agency, worth $4.2 billion, to send astronauts to the space station in its CST-100 Starliner crew capsule, although its vehicle is not expected to be ready until next year. NASA selected Boeing and SpaceX in September 2014 to transport crew to the International Space Station from the United States. These integrated spacecraft, rockets and associated systems will carry up to 4 astronauts on NASA missions, maintaining a space station crew of 7 to maximize time dedicated to scientific research on the orbiting laboratory. A very big step towards the ultimate goal of returning to the Moon and finally landing man on Mars. The first step has just begun. And that brings us to the end of what the NASA, SpaceX Demo 2 mission is all about. So, don't say, the Earth is flat. Do say, another step towards Mars. Cheers.